Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. This is part one in a series of videos on this radio you see in front of me, which is the Samcom FPCN10A. It's a UHF radio which Samcom have kindly sent me to review. As with all the other product review videos I do, I'm just going to give you my honest findings with this radio. I'm not being physically paid to do this radio. I've just been sent the radio to review. So what I give you in this video will be my honest opinions. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything like I haven't done with any other radios. It is one of the value range of Chinese radios that are flooding the market at the moment. There's not a lot that can go wrong with these things. I'm expecting decent things from it. So what we'll do in this video is we're going to look at the features and settings, we're going to look at programming, we'll go through what's in the box, and then in part two we'll look at doing an analog range test with this radio. So if we just have a look at the features and settings on this radio, the operating frequencies are 400 to 470 megahertz. It's fully computer programmable, and these have the same speaker mic ports as the Kenwood style radios, such as Baofeng and all those other things. So your programming cable is going to work with this, no problem. It's got 20 programmable channels. It has a dual PTT for group function, which I'm going to cover further into the video. It's got a 3000 mAh lithium-ion battery with battery save function. It's got a low voltage alert, so the radio will let you know when the battery is low, and then it'll cut out to stop any damage to the radio or to the battery. It's got an LCD display, which is backlit. It's got scrambler function as well for that little bit more privacy. Keypad tone, it has a keypad lock, a monitor button, scan button, CTCSS and DCS code, so these will work on simplex and duplex, so you can use them on repeaters. We've got the Vox function, which is basically voice activated transmission. We've got voice prompt in English or Chinese. These radios operate on 3 watts or less, so it's around 3 watts, which is more than enough for short range communications via handheld. And it's weather resistant. It's not submersible, it's not IP67 rated, but it's shower resistant and shock resistant, so if you drop this or you happen to get caught in the rain, it's not going to do it any harm. You should be okay. So quite a basic radio there, guys. The group function is the trickle bit sleeve on this one, which I'm going to come to in a little while, but first we'll bring the camera in and we'll have a look inside the box. Okay guys, so we'll have a look inside the box now. So it comes in quite a basic bog standard box. There's nothing on the box, but inside we've got the user manual there for the Samcom FPCN10A. Gives you some features on the front there, some photos, and it's quite a basic short instruction manual, only about 15 pages long, but it's all in full English, quite easy to understand. But I didn't even look at this. The radios were really easy to program and set up anyway, so it's there should you need it. We've got a charging base there, quite straightforward, with an LED indicator there for when the radio is fully charged, and we've got insulated cable, 2-pin plug there, so you'll need one of those Chinese adapters to plug those into your own mains, depending on which country you're in, but they're easy to come across anyway. We've got a belt clip there and a couple of screws which plug into the back of the radio. We've got an earpiece. Now this is quite a bit better than the standard earpiece that comes with these sort of Baofeng style radios. It's got a braided lace cord on it, so it's going to be a little bit more rugged than your bog standard basic headset. We've got the antenna here, which is rated from 400 to 480 megahertz UHF, rubber duck style antenna with an SMA connector on the top. And then finally we've got the radio and the battery. And the battery's already on, but these just basically clip on and clip off like so. So you can see inside there we've got some basic information. We've got an RF output power there. We've got the voltage, operating voltage, frequency, and the model number, and then the battery. This battery is actually very similar to the Baofeng UV82 style battery. I haven't got one on hand to compare it with, but it is very, very similar to the UV82 type battery. So and it's 3.7 volt, 3000 mAh power, so that's going to last you. Quite a chunky, decent battery there, lithium ion, and that just goes onto the back, sorry, and clips into place. If we look on the side of the radio, we've got the PTT, and we've got the monitor, and we've got the scan button. So quite simple there. On this side, we've got the speaker mic port, which is the same as the Kenwood style ones, as I said. So it's going to work with all your programming cables that you use for your Baofeng radios. On the top, we've got the SMA connector for the antenna. We've got the channel select knob there, and we've got the on-off and volume button and you can see we just switched the radio on. So operation on this radio is really straightforward, guys. I'm just going to plug the antenna in. Just screws into the top like so, and you can see we're on channel 2 here. We've got a menu button, exit and keypad button, up and down, and the group and OK button, and it's as simple as that. We've got the speaker on top, microphone there, and the screen, which is LED backlit. It's hard to see in this light because we're in broad daylight, but it does light up very well during dark. Okay, so here, if we turn the volume, if we turn the channel select button on top, we can select between our channels. I've only got 7 programmed in at the moment, but you can program 20 in. Okay, so if we go to channel, let's say channel 3 for now, we look at menu. We've got group settings here, so we click OK, and you can select your group channel. So I'm just going to keep that on channel 1. So if we come out of that, basically that means we're on channel 3. So if we key up, we transmit on channel 3. If we press the group button, we go straight to channel 1. Really simple, guys. So that's the group function, sort of explained and set up really easily. Just look through some more of the menu settings. We've got Vox, so you can go in and set your Vox levels. We've got Squelch, you can set your Squelch. We've got the keypad beep, which mine's turned off. Companda, which is basically scramble, you can turn that on and off. And we've got Scan, and it's as simple as that. Really easy, straightforward menu. And if we lock the keypad like so, as I say, anyone who's not familiar with radio is using this for an event, only has to press PTT in group. Anything else you press, it's going to have no effect on the radio whatsoever. They're not going to knock themselves off frequency. So I thought that was quite a handy sort of set of features there. Simplified keypad, lock button, group buttons. There's nothing they can do there to knock themselves off channel. And as I say, if someone isn't used to radio communications and you're running an event, really straightforward radio to use. Okay guys, so what we'll do now is we'll look at programming software on the computer. Okay guys, so this is the FPCN customer programming software. I'll put a link to this in the description below so you can download it should you get this radio. And as you can see, we've got 20 channel entries below. We've got general settings down the right hand side, so you can select your band, because this is a UHF radio. I'm set to UHF, but there is a VHF variant as well. We've got our timeout timer, so we'll just keep that to off. Vox level, we'll keep to off. We've got squelch level, which I'm just going to set to 1. Group, we'll set that to channel 2, and that'll become clear in a minute. And serial number and user ID, you don't need to bother with. So for channel 1, we've got the receive frequency, transmit frequency, receive CTCSS tone or DCS tone, transmit CTCSS tone or DCS tone, and then the bandwidth. So what we'll do is we'll program a simplex channel and a duplex channel, so basically a simplex channel and a repeater. It's really straightforward. So for a simplex channel, we'll put the receive frequency in, for example 433,500, and you can see that's automatically populated that in transmit as well. And we've got the transmit bandwidth set to narrow there. We don't need to receive or transmit CTCSS, but should you wish to put one in, you can do like so. For a repeater, we put the repeater's output in first, so in this case it's 433,350. We'll change the transmit frequency to the repeater's input, so in this case it's 438,950. We don't need to receive CTCSS tone, but we do need to transmit CTCSS tone to open the repeater, so in this case it's 82.5. And it's as simple as that. So you can see there we've got the group program channel as programmed as channel number 2. You can select that in the radio anyway, but how the radio will operate when this is programmed is we've got the primary on channel 1 and we've got the group function set to channel 2. And you can see we've got 20 channels that we can program in there. So that's really straightforward. What you can do then is you can click on write. Make sure you've got the correct programming port. I haven't plugged my cable in because I'm only demonstrating it for you, but where your cable's plugged in, it will show on here. Just select the programming port, click on OK, and then click on write. Once you click OK, the bar will fill blue, and then that means it's done. You can unplug the radio. So really straightforward programming. It wouldn't take long to program these radios at all. And of course you can unplug one radio, plug the next one in, and program it up the same as well. So that's really straightforward programming, guys. Okay, so that's what we get inside the box. Quite bog standard, quite straightforward, quite simple to set up. No neither there. Now, As I said earlier in the video, this radio has group function, which is a really handy feature. So you can see we've got a PTT on the front. So we've got a PT. Okay guys, so that's what's inside the box. Quite straightforward, easy to set up, nothing out of the ordinary there. As I said previously in the video, we've got what we call group function on this. So we've got a PTT on the side as normal, and we've also got a secondary PTT on the front there. And what this does is you have a group programmed in as well as the channel that you're on. So you can talk to a radio or a group of radios pressing one PTT, and then you can switch to a second group or a second user by pressing the group button, and then when the person on that group channel talks back, it will still come through. So you've got sort of like a dual PTT which you can assign to as many groups or as many users as you want. Well, 20, that's the amount of programmable channels that are in there, so it's quite a handy feature. So as I say, you've got 20 channels that you can program in, but a core group channel which is assigned to the secondary PTT. You can select the group from the keypad as well, so you can program the frequency in, and then you can select which group you want to transmit on from the keypad. You can have up to 20 groups of radios or 20 different users, because you can program 20 different frequencies into this radio. So for events, you could have a network of different groups, and a controller could contact each group separately. So you could switch between the groups and contact a different group separately. So all radios could be on channel 1, but then you have a secondary group channel for different groups that can be programmed in and can be monitored for separate communications. So it's quite a handy feature to have. So I hope I explained that well enough, guys. Basically, you can talk on one channel, you can press the different PTT to talk on the secondary channel, and as I say, you can select that secondary channel in the menus to any one of the 20 programmed channels that are in the radio. So you can have 20 separate users or 20 separate groups. So that's really, really handy. Quite a nice feature. And I suppose the benefit for this is, rather than having a Baofeng radio with a dual VFO and loads of different channels programmed in, is because it's got a simplified keypad and there's only 2 buttons you need to press. It's quite simple for people who are running events such as marathons, outdoor events, things like that don't have a radio background, don't really know how radios operate. It's quite straightforward for them to use, and you can put the keypad lock on as well. They're not going to mess anything up. None of these dials will work with the keypad locked, so you've got the sort of security in the fact that your average Joe who isn't into radio communications knows what they've got to do with this. They press one PTT or the other, and you've got instant communication. So I thought that was quite a handy feature, and not something you see on a lot of the Chinese radios that are coming onto the market at the moment. Just on the topic of events and things like that, as I say, this radio is rugged, is shower proof, and you've got the scramble function as well, so quite a handy radio. So yeah, that's part 1 of the Samcom FP-CN10A. Really nice radio, I'm happy with it. We're going to do some more testing. I've got part 2 coming up where we'll do a range test of this thing. We'll do short range and long range tests so we can hear the audio, see how the signal carries, and see how far we can get from the local mobile site, and see where we can get to with this. So looking forward to doing that. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Appreciate that. If you have any suggestions, comments, feedback or questions, just bob them in the box below and I'll get back to you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe as well. I'll put the link in the description to this radio so you can check it out yourself. And yeah, thanks for Samcom as well for sending it over. Okay guys, that's part 1. We'll catch you in part 2. Seven 3 for now. Thanks for watching.